He's not living up to your standards, he's living up to his country's obligations. I'm not even Korean. But one thing I do know, a man who is doing his country's duty deserves respect. Let him carry out his duties calmly. She's not there to meet anyone's expectations of how a man should look. He's not in a performance contest. He is carrying out his duties and responsibilities. So, why his appearance should be a matter of debate. Physical changes during the course of a task are treated as if there was something wrong. The problem is not how he looks. The problem is how you choose to see it. Behind the uniform is someone who is sacrificing his time, comfort, and personal life to carry out his obligations. At least, give him one of the simplest things. Respect. It is not necessary to like its appearance. No need to praise the physique. No need to compare it with the past. Just understand that he is on duty. And maybe, before commenting on her changes, ask yourself, if he is doing his duty to his country, shouldn't we respect the process, not judge his performance? Let him be in charge. Let him finish his duty. Let him go home as himself. Because a soldier should not be judged by how perfect he looks, but by his courage and responsibility to carry out his duties. The spotlight is getting hotter, let him be on duty. The debate heated up again after the change in the appearance of a person who was performing his state duty became the subject of public comment. For some people, these changes may seem obvious. But for those who choose to look deeper, there is one thing that is much more important. His running errands. The uniform he wears is not a stage to meet fan expectations. Her hair, face, weight, or physical appearance are not measures of her worth. What should be a concern is dedication, discipline, and responsibility during the performance of obligations. He's not trying to look perfect. He is doing what he is responsible for. And the word became a curse. This is because the public is often used to seeing a figure at his best, with a prepared appearance, perfect lighting, the best clothes and a camera that is always looking for the most interesting angles. But when a person lives a real life, change is something natural. And maybe, that's exactly where we need to learn to appreciate the human behind the figure that we have been admiring. Not all changes should be commented on. Not all photos should be compared to old photos. Not every appearance has to meet the standards of others. Because in the end, she is not on duty to look perfect in the public eye. He's on duty. Let him be in charge. Do not turn his devotion into an arena of judgment against his appearance. Because sometimes, the biggest form of support isn't saying, you still look perfect. Except, we know you're struggling. Do your job calmly. We'll respect you anyway. It's not about his face. He's on duty, not in a performance audition. The spotlight on the appearance of a figure who is carrying out his country's obligations again raises big questions. Why a person is in the line of duty must be constantly judged by his appearance. Some compare his face now with the past. Some argue about his physical changes. In fact, there are those who make each photo as an assessment material. But one thing seems forgotten. His running errands. While fulfilling these obligations, his life was not always in the same condition as when he worked in the entertainment industry. There are no demands to always look perfect in front of the camera. There is no obligation to always look like when you are on stage. And of course, there was no reason for the public to demand that she meet the standards of beauty or good looks that they themselves created. You saw his face. Don't forget to watch the fight. It's a powerful message in the midst of a debate. Man is not just a face. A person is not only his best photo. And someone who is carrying out their country's obligations should have the space to go through the process without constantly feeling that they have to look perfect to meet public expectations. If we used to admire him when he was on stage, maybe now is the time to show a different form of support. Respect him when he is doing his job. Let him get tired. Let him change. Let him live his days without having to be constantly compared to versions of himself in the past. Because when the task is completed, he will return to live his life. And perhaps, when that day comes, what matters most is not whether she still looks the way she used to. But did the people around him still give him respect when he was in the most different times than before? The message is simple. Do not demand perfection from someone who is performing an obligation. He doesn't need judgment. He needs space, calmness, and respect. Let him be in charge. Let him go through the process. And let him go home quietly. The public began to voice just the value of the task, not the appearance. The debate about the appearance of a figure who is carrying out his state duties has not yet subsided. But now a different voice appears. It's not about his face changing. It's not about what she looks like. Nor is it about the standard of appearance that the public wants. But rather about one much more important thing. Respect. Many people may know her as a celebrity with an always perfect appearance in front of the camera. But when a person enters the period of conscription, the life lived is certainly different. Routines change. The environment is changing. Responsibilities change. And the change in him is something that should not be used as an excuse to denigrate or judge him. He's not public property. That seems to need to be recalled. Admiring a person does not mean having the right to determine how he should look at all times. Being a fan does not mean that a person must always meet the physical standards created by his fans. And supporting doesn't mean just accepting her when she looks perfect. The real support is actually seen when we still respect him when his condition does not match our expectations. If today the face is different, let it be. If his body changes, let it. If he looks more tired than usual, understand. Because perhaps behind a single photograph that we only see for a few seconds, there are long days that we never live. One message for all. Don't use a person's time as a stage to judge their performance. He's doing his duty. He's in the process. And he has the right to do it calmly. No need to compare. No need to sue. No need to make his appearance a mockery. Respect the man behind the uniform. Because when a person is giving his time to perform a state duty, the simplest thing the public can give him is not a compliment about his face. Accept. Do your job calmly. We respect you.